yeah, we're, you know, this. It was horrendous.
Is this like PG?
The first person who I came out to was part of like a tight-knit group of friends, and one of them fancied me, and they were female, and it was just very awkward because they got really angry about it. And although I was like upset, obviously because I had just come out, I was kind of like, you're stealing this moment from me, and this isn't very nice. And that was very awkward.
I actually came out to my grandmother in a very awkward situation. I had one of my friends over, and we were like together, and she walked in on us together. So I was giving to him, and she outtakes behind the scenes, YouTube exposed. And so the story was she opened the door and he jumped back and it scratched against my teeth because it was so quickly, and it was just like, that's what happened. But yeah, it was an awkward situation, but oh well. Surprise, grandma!
I have a lot of family who don't know that I'm trans because they come from a really religious church background, and because I look so different to how I looked when I was a child and I came out, I had one of my distant cousins who didn't know that they were related to me share my video and like start like giving loads of hate online, and I was just like, oh okay, this guy keeps on talking about me, until my dad finally saw him, like, that's your cousin.
And he had no idea?
No idea. I know there's still like family members that don't know about me, but in case any of them are watching, hello.
Surprise.
None of them have ever really been awkward. They've been tragic and like really sad, but not awkward. I think just coming out to my mum and the crying in the bad way kind of crying, just like lots of crying, lots of not actually saying what we were feeling, and just
red puffy eyes, clumped eyelashes.
Yeah, just yelling about like other problems that weren't anything to do with me coming out, and just like a big mess of like 16-year-old emotions. Not good.
Angsty teen.
Yeah, angsty teen.
My most awkward coming out story was when I first moved to London and I started living with this guy, and he seemed like a pretty alright guy. One evening he asked me if I fancied heading out to the local bar with him. So I went along to the local bar, and some gay guys passed us in the street and they were holding hands, and he started shouting abuse at them. So I was kind of there confronted with this guy, and I felt like I had to say something. So I said, you know, actually it's not cool to treat them like that. And I said, actually I'm gay myself and we live together, so I really hope you can get on board and support that. But he didn't really support that, so I had to move out the next day.
Yeah, I have one, which was when I had like a boyfriend, like a secret boyfriend, and I was in a show at the time. I was at like theatre college or whatever, and my mum and dad were watching the show with my granddad, and someone was sitting next to them, and they kind of said, oh, isn't Ollie and his boyfriend cute, or something like that, and I hadn't come out at that point, and all of my family were like, what? So yeah, that was a little bit awkward having to explain that afterwards, but it's all fine now. It was like 10 years ago, so it's cool.
My most awkward one was probably the first one, because obviously I had no practice. Basically I came out, I didn't say like I'm gay, I told my mum that I had a girlfriend, but I didn't know how to say it, and I was so awkward about it. I was like, Mum, me and Saskia, we were like, and I started doing these weird hand gestures, and I started going like this, and it was so bad. I was like, yeah, we're and then yeah, I just couldn't say it for ages, and she was like, you're what? And I was like, you know, this, and it was terrible. I'm literally going red just thinking about it. It was horrendous.